Hey everybody, my name is Rob. I'm the co-founder of Bison Track LLC, and today I am here in an empty parking lot to do some product testing. I've got an e-scooter behind me, and you may be wondering why a motorcycle gear company has an e-scooter in an empty parking lot. Well, I am wearing a product which may be unfamiliar to you because it's a prototype, it's not out. This is the eSkootr Championship prototype race suit and boots that I'm wearing. I have the gloves over in the truck and of course my KYT helmet. Got to protect this big 5-head of mine. I'm not intentionally going to crash. If I wanted to test the durability of this thing, I would just jump off the back of that truck. But we're not doing that, because we're not jumping out of trucks with these suits. We are racing e-scooters, and we're not racing motorcycles, which is why I don't have this out on a kart track on a mini bike, for instance, or out on a full-size track, of course. The eSkootr Championship is racing these. And so what I want to do today is ride as fast as I can on that thing and crash it in the same way that the e-scooter racers are going to be crashing, because they are going to hit the ground in a different way at a different speed than you would on a motorcycle, for instance. So we need to have an apples to apples test. That's where we start today. So prototype number 1 here, gonna do some crash testing. We've got the suit, the boots, the gloves, and I'm gonna show you guys what we do here and also how they hold up at the end. Stay tuned. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get zipped up here, get ready to go. You know, one of the coolest things about owning your own gear company is doing the crash testing. I'm not gonna lie. You know, when we started this company, for the first year of Bison being a thing, all I did was race in the suit, just me personally, and I crashed it 5 or 6 times, the first prototype. The gloves, same deal. I have pictures, still frames, from the video when I crash tested those gloves. The Thor ones, the first time out, you know, I just slid on my hands. I actually low-sided, I was sliding on my hands, and I thought to myself, whoa, product testing, I gotta stay on my hands. And then I hit the grass, I started tumbling, and I got up, and the first thing I do, you can actually see me in the frame, look at my gloves, say, all right, we're good to go. You know, people ask me all the time, isn't it like crazy crash testing your own stuff? Doesn't it stress you out? I'm like, no, it doesn't really. I mean, I have a lot of faith in our products, in our quality, and I put my son in here, put him out here if he wasn't busy today behind the computer. Instead, I get to crash test. So, you know, a 17-year-old, he does crash better than me. It's a little more, he bounces a little bit better and heals better than me. So, at any rate, I'm gonna throw the lid on, throw the gloves on, and we're gonna have some fun. Start for getting a feel for the surface here. Slick, it's slick. Scrub there, a little scrub. Almost crashed. I saved it. So the grip is actually way higher on this thing than I thought it was. Can do a lot of trail braking into the corner. I was trying to tuck the front, but it actually was gripping really well, even on this slick asphalt. So I'll just turn it up a notch. There's crash number 1. Okay, so crash number 1, lost the rear and just kind of fell. It was a pretty easy one, but I'm okay. Did fall hard on my hip. Hip pad did the job on my elbow. A little bit of rash on the suit. No, it's just dust. That was an easy one. Need to keep going. Well, guys, the scooter broke before the suit, so yeah, guess I gotta adjust my braking style here. I was afraid that might happen. Okay, I gotta stop saving. Okay, I gotta stop saving that. I can't save it. I gotta let it go, you know? Oh, geez. It's so hard. It's instinct. You just want to hold on. Okay. Oh, there we go. Oh. Yeah, that was a little harder. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay, we're going for crash number 4. Decided I'm going to crash until the scooter or I can't go anymore. Or the suit, or gloves, or boots. I don't see that happening, but I do have another pair of gloves should I need them. So let's put it in race mode. We're going to go full tilt here. Full speed. I'm going to try to get to 40. And then just go into that corner full brakes. See what happens. Here we go. Oh, man. Oh, man. We're going to come in hotter on the front. The left side of the scooter is starting to take some damage. The controls are wobbling around. I'm going to have to order some parts after this thing. Okay. There we go. Full speed. All right. That one hurt a little bit. Just the hands. Had an impact on my toe, but my body's been totally fine. And the boots, they're good. The toes are very structural. I've got a toe injury already. So I just whacked my big toe. That sucked. But other than that, things are going okay. Scooter has seen better days. We continue to crash it. Let's go. All right, here we go again. Guys, scooter crashes, they hurt worse than you might think they will. I'm going to do one more high-speed crash here. I've left some pretty good skid marks on the asphalt here, but we're going to do one more because I'm not quite satisfied yet. The scooter is still operating. You can't have that. We got to break the scooter. Guys, please excuse my what is sure to be terrible helmet hair. Listen, I'm here to say that was a fun day. It was actually more painful than I expected. Turns out scooter crashes involve a lot of impacts, even at slow speeds. I knew that. But my hands are a little banged up. We've got some padding to add to the gloves. You know what? We use the same padding as we did in our motorcycle gloves, and we need more in the eSkootr gloves. So this is why we do these things. This is why we do it. The scooter did not fare great. Actually, it did fare great today. I think 10 crashes on it. The handle grip is worn down. I gotta get a new brake lever, it looks like. You know, that's no big deal. Other than that, some scrapes and some bruises. But listen, check out the asphalt here, okay? This is where we started the testing, and you can see a lot of skid marks. I'm gonna tell you, the Segway trail brakes really well. You can see some scuffs here where we crashed. The skid marks here. The thing trail brakes great actually, and it does a great job getting turns. And then we had some areas over here where you know, the thing slid out coming out of the corner. Actually, when the battery was fully charged. Yeah, so when the battery was charged, this thing would actually kick out and try to high side me. And I didn't get high-sided, thankfully. It's hard to high-side a scooter. What that means is when the bike slides and then it hooks up and then it pitches you over the top of the bike. Can't really do that on a scooter because it's so low to the ground. Low center of gravity, you just put your feet down, you fall basically. But check this out. This is the second wave of crashes coming down the hill, so they were faster. And here's my entry point. And you can see my trail braking marks and stuff. And then these are the crashes. And we have a lot of crashes on the gear today. Well, I'm back. It's day 2 of testing. There's no crashing today. It's just gear assessment. Last night I was going to show you this stuff while I was still in the parking lot, but I ran out of time, I ran out of daylight, I ran out of batteries in my cameras, and I ran out of energy. I was exhausted. So I packed everything up and I'm back here today to show you how the gear did. I'm going to tell you, some of those crashes probably looked a little bit funny and you were thinking to yourself, that didn't look like a big deal. These scooter crashes are just way different than a motorcycle crash. When you crash a motorcycle, for instance, we're talking about hands, right? You're leaned over most of the time and you lose the front. You start to put your hands down. You're already kind of down there and you slide. With the scooter crash, you are up here. You're standing up almost straight up. And when you fall, the first thing to go are your hands. That's instinct. And so the palms of your hands, the wrists, your elbows, your shoulders take a lot of shock. And this morning I woke up, my hands were so sore. I've got a bruise right here across my palm. And then on my other hand, I have a bruise here. And that's mostly from impacts on the outside of the hand, just bruising the center of my hand. So bruises on both my palms. And that tells me right away, got to do some work on the gloves. Now, again, these are the first iteration of prototypes. We have a second prototype being made, and we already added some padding even before this testing. Added padding, made some adjustments to the palms, but I think we're going to need even more. Now, if you look at the palms of the gloves, in terms of damage, there is none. The super fabric pads did a great job. The synthetic suede held up very, very well. On the outside of the glove, you're going to see, especially the right glove, has some damage on the knuckles. This is cosmetic. This woven fabric material here, it's a very light fabric, but it's not durable in terms of cosmetic stuff. We have hard protectors underneath this material. So this is superficial, but we want these riders to look good for a long time. And so again, on the second prototype gloves now, we have a synthetic suede on the full hand, including the back. So the gloves did great for what they are, but I'm glad we made the changes to the second prototype. Now let's move on to the boots. Okay, now the boots, I crashed everything on the left side, and that's one of the things you're going to notice in the video. If you go back and you watch, I crashed everything on the left side because I wanted to crash all these products the same place, same spot, numerous speeds. And so the left side took abuse, and this left boot, you can see that. This hard toe slider, this is a hard plastic, kind of a rubberized plastic on the outside of the boot. It is frayed, it is a little bit damaged. The toe has some fraying on it, but you know, all this is hard shell stuff. And this synthetic suede, again, just like the gloves, it's very tough and it's done a good job cosmetically. Looks great. So that was really the only cosmetic damage. Now I did drag my sole. I dragged my foot going into some corners, get some Rossi legging, and I did that to try and see if I could wear on the sole at all, but no noticeable wear on the sole after a day of dragging my foot around. These boots did great, and they were very comfortable. They protected me. I'm very happy with the boots. Now we're going to move on to the bread and butter of this test, and that is the suit. A 2-piece vegan textile suit. And what we have here is the jacket. And, you know, despite crashing on the left side, you know, you can barely tell that I had any crashes on the left side. There's some minor scuffing. The super fabric, you can barely tell anything happened. The forearm has some scuffing on it on the inside, but really just not a lot of damage. I slid on my belly at one point, and you can see some cosmetic damage on the zipper flap and on the buttons, and that's just not a big deal. But now on the right side, I did have a couple of big impacts, and you can see the upper arm into the shoulder protector, which are, these things are super tough on the knees and on the shoulders of the suits and pants. And then down to the super fabric, you can see how well that did in the slide. Again, some cosmetic damage to the cordura on the inside of the arm. We want to wrap this super fabric around to the inside of the arm as well, just to make sure we get full protection. But Guys, the jacket did amazing. And finally, we're gonna move on to the pants. Now, I tried really hard to break this suit, and towards the end of the day, the scooter was out of battery and I was barely able to get it to 20 miles an hour. So I said, instead of crashing it, I'm just going to drag my knee, put all my weight on the knee. I'm gonna try to drag knee on a scooter, and let's see if I can hurt the pants. I finally got there, so check this out. Okay, so let's take a look at the right side of the suit, and you can see that there is a little bit of cosmetic damage to the super fabric, just barely. And that goes all the way down the leg. That's just from a tumble. And on the front of the leg, you can see where I slid on my knees at one point and just got this a little bit dirty. On the left side, however, this is what took, 8 of the 10 crashes. This is what took the brunt. And you can see the hip, that's one of the first things to hit the ground. We have a super fabric panel here. We have changed the design of this super fabric panel on our next prototype, and it's going to extend into the buttock area. Also, we're getting rid of these pocket flaps, just not necessary on the race suit. As we move down, you can see some fraying above the knee on the accordion panel here, and then down the side, the super fabric definitely took the brunt of the damage. But when I dragged my leg through the corner, it took 2 tries, but I was able to compromise the suit. 2 big crashes on this side, and then 2 intentional leg drags, and I went through this scene. And so what we know now is we need to add a design element here, add some protection here. What I'm thinking is we're gonna put a Velcro panel so we can attach a knee puck, or the rider could put a super fabric panel there as well and just swap it out in the event of a crash or just dragging the knee. But you can see here how well the Cordura did. After a lot of crashes, it's just starting to fray. Cordura is not a great material for a high-speed crash. Our vegan suits are not recommended for anybody doing faster than we'll say a slow intermediate pace at track days. We don't recommend them for racing, although we have had some riders really crash these vegan suits very fast on big tracks. But when it comes to these type of applications that the e-scooters are going to face, the e-scooter riders and e-bike riders, this vegan suit is going to be awesome. It's lightweight, it's breathable, and it's versatile. Most importantly, it kept me safe yesterday. I was comfortable in it, it kept me safe, and I know some small tweaks that we need to make, but I just want to give you guys a behind the scenes look at how we test our gear, how we develop new products, and then we send them off to third party for evaluation. So be sure to put in the comments any questions that you have, but please like the video, subscribe to the channel for future content, and keep an eye out on eSkootr Championship. That's eSkootr Championship. eSkootr Championship. Check out their website, follow them on the social media pages. Be sure you're following Bison as well. And I'll see you in the next video, guys. Go fast, be safe.